So are there any, I guess, life events or major happenings in the world right now that have made you the person that you are today?
Oh my God, yeah, for sure. Life events, yeah. World events, yeah. Not right now as far as world events, but definitely historically as a black woman. I don't know which one to start with first. Let's start with life events. I don't know. From the moment I was born, life was just crazy, and I was just born into it. But I thrived, and here I am, a compassionate, sentient human being. So I guess I did something right, or some. Nah, I guess I definitely did do something right, because we gotta speak positively about ourselves. Life events, I would say, being introduced to music or being guided to music definitely like laid a foundation for my present life. So my brother, I have 3 brothers. One of my brothers that passed, he used to play the cello, and I thought that was so cool, but I didn't want to play the cello.
Really cool.
It was cool. Like, most black people don't play string instruments, let alone cellos. But he was like really good. Like, he was naturally like just good. Like, I still remember songs he used to play, like this song called Can Can. You know Can Can?
I don't think so.
It goes dun 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 dun.
Oh yeah.
That song. So he would play that, and I was like, yo, he's really good. So he was like a grade or 2 older than me. So when it came time to see like what instrument I wanted to play or in the choir, I was like, I want to play the string instrument, but I don't want to play the cello. So I remember like growing up, like in my mom's car, like sometimes the classical music station would just come on, and I would just be going like this with my hands. I didn't even know what a violin was, so I was just like, I'm gonna play the violin. And I was just good at it, like naturally good at it, like off bucks. And so my teacher like taught me the fundamentals, but I used to just practice outside for like 10 hours straight, like in 5th grade. And it just became my piece. Like, so I grew up in the country, like the country ass hood. So my older cousin would just come down the dirt road playing like whatever hood song was popping back then. It was like 2005, like Lean With a Rock, I don't know. Blackston out of his Crown Vic. So me on the field, I'd just be playing little Beethoven. He would come, I start playing like with him, like along. So that's how I got into like improv and stuff. Like, I love doing covers to your favorite Ratchet song. Yeah, but no, music literally like saved me. I got scholarships all throughout college. I got to meet like really cool people. It just gave me a different confidence as far as like performing in front of people, which sometimes I used to be really nervous about, but not so much anymore, because I've been doing it for, what year is it? 2019? 14 years?
Yeah. Wow.
So I don't know, music connects people, and then it's a coping mechanism too. So along to the next life event, my brother that I was telling you about that played the cello, you know Alana, but he died by suicide in 2016. So when that happened, my whole life just like switched trajectories. Like, before that, I was like, I'm the youngest in my family, but I was like, mentally I'm the oldest. Like, I would solve everybody's problems. Everybody called me when they needed something. And I told y'all I'm very sensitive, so it became really overwhelming and draining emotionally, mentally, physically, any level that you could imagine. So when he passed, it forced me to like look within my soul and really figure out like who I was, what I wanted my life to be like. I don't know, suicide, like, we don't talk about it enough in the Black community. We don't talk about it enough at all. But suicide destroys families. It really does destroy families. And this is not to shame anyone that is considering suicide. But if you are, also hit me up. Not for real. But suicide destroys families. Like, my family was not close before my brother died by suicide, but after he died, like, what family? But I'm okay with that now, because the universe has definitely provided me through the years, like, people that are my family, like on a genuine level, that know me, that care about me, that would never put me in harm's way, that would always look out for me or let me know when I'm wrong, because that's family as well. And not from a toxic place, from a healthy place, from a positive and supportive place. That's family to me. Like, that's what family is. But, you know, I guess life definitely leads you to where it wants you to be. Sometimes forcefully, sometimes gently. But my brother's definitely like awaken. Yeah. It awakens something in me, like on a spirit level. It's like something like in my DNA just like burst out. Like I've learned about the laws of the universe since he's passed. I've learned about energy. I've learned about numerology. I've learned about my past. I've learned about the art of alchemy, changing your reality to reflect your inner world, or vice versa. Like I learned about the art of transmutation. I learned about comedic science and the
and
Matrix.
You got into all of this since 2016.
2016.
Wow.
Naturally though, I was always kind of like, people like, oh my god, like you're so like cool, like vibey, and I'm like, oh thanks, like I appreciate that, cause you know, I appreciate like any kind of thing that people say. But I guess before, like it was like more so of a natural like inclination towards things. But after he passed, like, and I worked through that grief, you gotta work through your grief. It unlocked so many doors for me, like literally so many doors, and I feel closer to him now than when he was alive. Like that's my bro, like that's my bro. So much so to the point where people are like, oh my god, I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm like, there's no need to be sorry. My brother is still with me, like more so than you know, like not dead ass. Like I remember when I first started to heal, like feeling better, like I was really nervous. Like I had this weird relationship with grief when he first passed. Like, oh my god, if I get better, like my brother never existed, which does not make any sense at all. Like, but when he first passed, like I felt like I had to hold on to that because that's all I had. But after I worked through that, I was like, that's really toxic. Like my brother wants me to get better. He wants me to heal. He wants me to work through this so that I can become closer to him on the other side. And that's exactly what happened. Like I remember I would be driving and I would just see like a sign that said Matthew 3:16, or a little kid, like his dad would be like, hey Matthew, like that's no coincidence.
Right.
Because we know coincidence is just another name for the law that's not understood or overstood, is what I should say. But yeah, coincidence is not real. It's not a thing. The universe does everything by order. So coincidence is, you just don't know the universal law, and that's okay, because you will learn. But nah, my brother's, that literally unlocked like so many doors for me. And he's still guiding me, supporting me, rooting me on, cheering me on, because I'm breaking generational curses. And it's not easy, but it's lit. It's lit.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Of course, you're welcome.
It was an awesome answer. Share an embarrassing moment.
An embarrassing moment. Okay. One time I was in church growing up, and I had did a split because I used to be able to do splits, and I had this long coat on, like down to, it wasn't down to my ankles, but it was pretty long. Kind of champ, actually, now that I think about it. Fly now, it was champ back then. Like, what kid you know wearing coats down to their feet? Like, it was definitely not
before your time.
We could say that. We could say that. But, so I did a split and my pants ripped, but nobody saw because I had that coat on.
So how was that even embarrassing?
It was embarrassing to me.
Because you knew that your pants was split.
Yes. And I had to play it off, and I walked around the rest of the day like that and didn't say nothing. And when mom got home, she was like, what happened? And I was like, I don't want to talk about it. So that was embarrassing. A lot of little things like that be happening to me, but I just be having a poker face. But it actually do be like, dang. But then I'd be like, okay, I really don't care.
At least you just experiencing it by yourself.
By myself. So, yeah.
That's funny. What's the craziest thing you've ever seen?
The craziest thing I've ever seen? Damn. Okay, so I used to work at this job. Can I say that? I probably shouldn't say the name. But I am a social worker by trade, and I was a case manager. So it was like raw, like the type of work that we would do would just be raw. So one day, there's so many things like that I saw there. It would probably be, I guess I can choose this. So the dude, I had came down towards the end of it, but he had just gotten out of the psych unit, and he literally still had the IV still in his arm. And there were like 2 white women with newborn babies. And I guess he has a fixation with newborn babies. He attacked them, the women and the babies. And his case manager like tackled him to the ground so that he wouldn't kill the people, obviously. And he was just like out of his mind, like high on K2. Like, it was really traumatic. And after that day, I was like, yeah, I can't work here no more.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. That's just off top. I'm sure I've seen more crazier things, but that was fairly
were the
recent.
people okay? Like, were the babies okay?
The babies were okay. The woman was kind of like shaken up and like in shock and like shaking and stuff. And you know, like when something crazy happens, everybody's like, "Oh my God, are you okay?"
Right,
that can be
in
like
your face. That makes it worse.
Yeah. So she was a little overwhelmed, but she was okay. Yeah.
Okay, as long as girl, I thought you said you were going to run out with me.
He probably was. Like he would bring. Apparently, like one of my like friends and coworkers that used to work with him said he would like bring babies into the agency. Like clearly he has like toy babies.
Oh.
He has like a fixation with like babies, and he actually talks like a baby. So there's something there.
Oh yeah, okay.
Something there.
Strange.